My name is Stephanie Urbina Jones. Of all the sacred journeys I've taken and led, none have been more profound than this one. On January the 5th, 2022, amid a raging pandemic, snowstorms, fires, and canceled flights, 26 leading spiritual teachers, preachers, and healers from around the world came together to take a leap of faith, to ignite a bold new dream, creating the first ever author's journey in the pyramids of Teotihuacan. We walked through hell and on fire. We danced, we wrote, and breathed, remembering our divinity. Through the courage of these starseed dreamers and one badass brave healer publisher, this powerful collection of stories, Shaman Heart, turning pain into passion and purpose, was born.
So hi, I'm Jeremy Pajer. I've spent 20 years dedicating myself to personal growth and different spiritual modalities. Really came to this path through my own personal pain. I had kind of got to the place where I had no other choice but to surrender and to try something different than what I was doing. And so that started off with Native American sweat lodges and Toltec work and fire walking school. And so I'm currently co-founder of Freedom, Folk, and Soul. And we do trips all over the world and have our own ministry. And we work with lots of people from all over in different places in their lives, trying to get to a place of more personal freedom within inside themselves. And often people have deep-rooted trauma or, struggling with different parts of their lives. So we kind of help them walk through those processes. So how did this project come about? Interesting enough, there was, Stephanie came to me, my wife, Stephanie came to me with another idea, and I think my original point of view on it was no, not another idea. But as she continued to share it, I really could see the value of bringing 26 people together to really write about turning pain into purpose. It's like what we have done. We truly believe that our wounds are our medicine. And so, the only way to work through that is to go through it, and to be with it. And so I kind of slowly got on board with the project, and it's been really amazing. It's pushed me to my edge, and it's been a personal journey for me too, because I've always wanted to write a book or be part of a book, and been terrified to do that, and have had to deal with my own personal trauma around writing. So it was another way to, once again, like many times in my life, just step into the fire. So this group down here has been really amazing. At first, what was different than normal groups that we do was just the amount of energy and intensity that came in with the group and the excitement. I haven't been that excited about a group coming in a long time. And so, yes, it's been a lot of kind of wrangling and cat herding, but the power and the surrender of each person and the amount of work that's getting done is just mind-blowing. And it's really an honor and a privilege to witness each person kind of take their hearts out and lay them on the altar over and over again. Day after day. It's like one powerful experience to the next, and do it all over again. And there's just takes a lot of courage. I don't ever take that lightly. So for me as a teacher, you are journeying, and you get the privilege to kind of walk with each person as they journey. So that has been a big thing, to be able to hold space and to just witness each person as they've stepped into the fire, they've laid their hearts on the altar once again. But my personal, I guess if I say personal experience, was we did a breathwork experience last night, and I haven't journeyed that visually or even viscerally in a long time. And so it was a reminder of, in all of the creation of this trip, creation of our life, creation, is to not take it so seriously, and to know that it's creation for the sake of creation, and it's not always about the end goal or just getting through it, but just really being in the creation. So that's probably been the most profound thing for me this trip. So what is a fire walk about? The fire walk for me has really been around changing my relationship with fear. And I think it's a really good place for, or opportunity for everybody as we all try to step into this writer or being writers. I think that our doubt comes up in a big way. At least for me it does. So when you are sitting in front of 1,200 degree coals, it's really about being honest with where you're at. It's okay to be afraid, and then taking a step anyways. So it's, the fire walk is going to be really about kind of stepping into that fire, stepping into that fear, and knowing, that we're going to be okay. That's the cliff notes, I guess. For me, my whole life has been around turning my pain into purpose. And so the theme of this book, or the title of this book, has really informed my writing and how I have taken those painful experiences, those childhood experiences that kind of shaped who I was, and I've taken them and brought them to the altar and loved those parts of myself, and in turn could walk with other people as they had to do the same thing. And so it's really become my passion to witness that. How is it to work with my wife? It's a real... Okay, so I won't hold back and say that, we don't, certainly it has its challenges. But after all these years of working together, there's a real synergy and comfort and trust that exists within it. So I feel like when we are side by side, I feel like she's got my back and I got her back. And there's a magic that happens between the two of us. So this was the whole collaboration with the Dreaming House and how it came to be, and I'm really honored to have been part of that, and I guess if my memory serves me right, because it was 18 years ago, I believe I met Alberto through his sister. And I met his sister. She had a rock shop down off the main avenue in Teo. And somehow I met Alberto, and he started inviting him to come to the hotel to sell he was a stone carver. And he'd drive up in his beat-up old minivan, and he would carry all these heavy boxes into the hotel, and what really struck me about him, because I grew up in an Italian family where everyone was always like, somebody's trying to get one over on you, and if you could get one over on somebody else, then they're tough luck, right? And so Alberto would, talk to people, and people would be like, I like this piece, and he would say, oh, well, you can just pay me later. And this was such a bizarre concept to me. Like, what? These people don't even live in your country. You can pay me later. So somewhere in there, I introduced him to, at the time, who my boss was, where the Drug and Alcohol Treatment Center I was working. He came down, Lee McCormick, and the three of us went walking in into the valley. I don't know where it was in Teo, but we were looking for like fresh herbs and sage, and Alberto was sharing with us, his wisdom and living here as an indigenous, kind of man. And he said, well, we were driving back. He's like, I want to show you something. I have a dream. I have a small dream. And so he brought us to where is now the Dreaming House. And we came in, and it was like kind of a broken down building, Probably nothing had been done here in, years, and it was falling down and crumbling, but he was working on the two front rooms, which became the two first rooms, and they looked kind of like the hotel. And he said, I have this dream of, people coming here in groups, and so I've had the pleasure of being from that point of the Dreaming House to what we have today, which is, a place that can hold, 40, 50 people. And it is art and beauty at every turn. So that's the story.